So day two. First off, did you sleep okay last night? Did you worry about what may not be around today? The finger pointing game that Washington often plays is at breakneck speed. A lot of fingers being pointed of whose fault this is. So let's kind of drill down a bit. Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, for some reason, I never know why these guys go on with people like George Stephanopoulos to begin with, but he chose to go on ABC's Good Morning America to talk about the shutdown with George Stephanopoulos. Stephanopoulos came out swinging, accusing Republicans of shutting down the government. It's all the Republicans' fault because they don't want to offer the extension of the Obamacare benefits, the tax credits. Now, Speaker Johnson fired back. In cut number 4, he called that absurd and said that Democrats are trying to use the shutdown to sneak in free health care for illegal immigrants. Here's the exchange.
The Democratic proposal is designed to prevent millions of Americans from losing their health insurance, losing Medicaid coverage, or paying higher health care premiums. Why are you against that?
That's an absurd statement, what you said there. Let's be clear about what happened last night, George. No, George, let me tell you what happened last night. Everybody can go and review the facts for themselves. 44 Senate Democrats voted to reject a clean, nonpartisan, continuing funding resolution to keep the United States government open. The Democrats said instead that they wanted to give health care to illegal aliens instead of keeping critical services provided for the American citizens. That's what happened, plain and simple. Every Democrat in the House, except one, voted against the clean continuing resolution. It was nonpartisan in nature. There are no policy riders on it that Republicans favored. It's exactly what Chuck Schumer and other Democrats voted for in March. But they've changed their tune. They changed their tune because Chuck Schumer is having political problems right now. That's just a simple fact, and everybody knows it. He's trying to outrun the far-left portion of his base, so he's decided to inflict pain on the American people.
Here are facts. Here are the facts. The proposal does not provide health care for illegal immigrants. Illegal immigrants cannot buy health care under the Affordable Care Act. They cannot receive health care subsidies. No. Illegal immigrants are ineligible for Medicare, Medicaid, and the Children's Health Program. The Democratic bill does not make them eligible.
Now, this is sort of a, all right, he said, she said type thing. As you heard, Stephanopoulos pushing back on what the Speaker of the House is saying, saying that's not true. Illegal immigrants can't get Obamacare or Medicaid. But Speaker Johnson said, hang on, Democrats' proposal would roll back provisions that Republicans passed earlier this year in President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill. We all know what was in the One Big Beautiful Bill when it comes to Obamacare, health care services to illegal immigrants. That law, the Speaker pointed out, cleaned up the Medicaid rolls. There's a lot of criticism when that was happening, remember? So here's the deal. Democrats say that they just want to extend the Obamacare subsidies for working Americans. Republicans say Democrats are using that as a Trojan horse. Well, Vice President J.D. Vance kind of cleared things up later, referencing the conversation between the Speaker and George Stephanopoulos. His quote was, Trump's bill shut off that spigot, and Democrats want to turn it back on. Here's the Vice President giving his version of the story.
Well, Mr. Vice President, one of the lies that continues to be told is that they're not giving funding to illegals' health care. Can you explain to our audience why that's not true?
Yeah, so this is a Democrat talking point. They say we're not actually trying to give health care benefits to illegal aliens, and here's why it's not true. There are 2 Biden-era programs that explicitly gave the taxpayer health care money to illegal aliens that we turned off when President Trump took over in January. Program number 1 is there's a lot of emergency health care at hospitals that are provided to illegal aliens. That was funded by the federal government. We turned off that funding because, of course, we want American citizens to benefit from those hospital services, not to be taxed and then to have those hospital services go to illegal aliens. The second of which is the Biden administration gave mass parole to millions upon millions of illegal aliens, and then they simultaneously made those parolees eligible for health care benefits funded by taxpayers. In the One Big Beautiful Bill, President Trump and congressional Republicans turned off that money to health care funding for illegal aliens. The Democrats want to turn it back on. And in their initial proposal, the first thing that they put out to reopen the government, they actually turned that money for health care benefits for illegal aliens back on. So it's not something that we made up. It's not a talking point. It is in the text of the bill that they initially gave to us to reopen the government. It's preposterous for them to run away from it now. But look, let's set that all to the side. Let's open up the government. Let's negotiate on all of these health care policy issues. Obviously, we're not going to support health care benefits for illegal aliens, but we will work with them to lower health care costs for American citizens if they're willing to do so.
Okay, so you tell me. We have Speaker Johnson saying, nope, we're not going to do health care for illegals, and yes, that's what the Democrats are trying to do. We have the Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance, backing up the Speaker, saying, yes, that's exactly what the Democrats want to do if we extend the Obamacare provisions that they're wanting to extend. George Stephanopoulos saying that both of them are wrong. You tell me, who are you going to believe? George Stephanopoulos, Speaker Johnson, or the Vice President, J.D. Vance? 800-655-MIKE, 800-655-6453 is how you join the conversation. Hope you will. You can email me directly, joey@joeyhudson.com. I'm Joey Hudson, in for Mike Today. Don't you just love how the Democrats have amnesia over what they have said in the past about government shutdowns and about providing health care to illegal aliens? CNN asked Senator Schumer, who, of course, says he doesn't want to do the shutdown, but he has to do the shutdown in order to extend the Obamacare credits. They played a montage for Mr. Schumer of him being against shutdowns. Cut number 3.
One of the things that Republicans are also doing, and they're doing in the White House press briefing, was the running sound of Democrats talking about shutdowns in the past, including sound of you. This is the type of thing you've said about shutdowns in the past. Let's listen.
What if I persuaded my caucus to say I'm going to shut the government down, I'm going to not pay our bills unless I get my way? It's a politics of idiocy, of confrontation, of paralysis. Shutting down government over a policy difference is self-defeating. We can never hold American workers hostage again. While the CR bill is very bad, the potential for a shutdown has consequences for America that are much, much worse. Therefore, I will vote to keep the government open and not shut it down.
That was you 3 times in the past. Go ahead. What's different this time?
Yeah, that was in March, John, before they had done these horrible things to health care, before they had introduced these rescissions which would allow them to ignore the budget process. And the bottom line is, when I was majority leader, we had 13 times to vote on a budget. Do you know why there was no shutdown? We sat and negotiated with the Republicans every time. They got some things, we got some things. They did not negotiate at all. They refused, despite repeated entreaties by Hakeem and me, to go to the White House to sit down with Thune and Johnson.
Don't you just love it? Oh, well, that was then. Now's different. I mean, he was pretty convincing, wasn't he? That shutdowns are bad. We all know they are. But suddenly it's okay. It's okay because he's not majority leader anymore, and he can't just get his way. Don't you just love the hypocrisy of people like Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries and all the Democrat leaders? But it gets even better. During the 2020 primary, Charlie Hurt, this is cut number 6, asked which of the candidates supported giving free health care to illegal immigrants here. Here's Charlie Hurt.
Let's remember, back in the 2020 primary, in the Democrat primary for 2020, all the Democrats running, there were about a dozen of them on stage, were asked which ones of them supported giving free health care to illegal aliens paid for by legal taxpayers. 100% of them. Every single one of them raised their hands. So I don't even know why they're pretending to refute this and to claim that this isn't what they're doing, because this is exactly what they promised their voters, their Democrat voters, that they would do. This is what they are totally committed to.
Now, that was Charlie Hurt reminding us what they had done in the 2020 primary. We dug deep in the archive, cut number 7. We actually have some video of the Democrats doing that.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants. Okay.
For the record, if you're not watching us on the Salem News Channel, every single candidate raised their hand. That's the hypocrisy that we're dealing with, folks. That's the Democrat Party of today. 800-655-MIKE, 800-655-6453. I'm Joey Hudson, in for Mike today.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.